Hello viewers, back in 1977, Sally Field was transitioning from TV darling to serious actress. She met Burt Reynolds on the set of Smokey and the Bandit, and the chemistry? Instant. She later admitted that he made her feel sexy, valued. He gave me a feeling that I was sexy, and I wanted to be everything he ever wanted. But that glow didn't last. Because beneath that spark was a relationship pattern where Field started to vanish. She explains, I was behaving the way I was taught. That is, to be loved, I had to disappear. So here's the first twist. The man she thought would champion her ended up clipping her wings, and she recognized it early. By 1979 to 80, Field had turned into a serious contender. Norma Rae had her heading toward Oscar territory. Meanwhile, Reynolds' star was shining too, but he was insecure. When Silva went to Cannes, when she was nominated, he wasn't supportive. One blunt exchange, he asked her, "You don't think you're going to win anything, do you?" right before she headed into the landmarks of her career. And the Oscar night itself? Field recalls, "He really was not a nice guy around me then and was not going to go with me." Contrast this, she went anyway with friends, felt the thrill of winning, while he stayed behind, resentful. That moment cracked something, and now think about it, when the person supposed to ride shotgun to your success becomes the one holding you back, frustration, resentment, feeling trapped, build up. A Field later wrote that Reynolds, by the time I walked through the door, his stardom, was a way to control me. So there's the danger. What began as love turned into a kind of prison. She felt she lost herself, and in Hollywood, nobody wants to lose themselves. Field didn't. She fought back. The turning point, Field reflected that their relationship was a perfect match of flaws. She admitted, he was not someone I could be around. He was just not good for me in any way. That's decisive. Not it was complicated, not it was sad. She says, bluntly, he held me down, and after that, her career skyrocketed, not just because of her talent, but because she reclaimed her narrative. She stopped performing for him, and started performing for herself. She went from being the girlfriend of one of Hollywood's biggest stars to being a double Academy Award winner, a force in her own right. Here's a surprising angle. In her memoir, she described their screen kisses as bad, drooling even his symbolism for how broken the dynamic had become. So when she says she hated him more than anyone else in Hollywood, she meant she hated what he represented in her life. Control, erasure, fear. Why should you care? Because Field's story isn't just celebrity gossip, it's a lesson. When success comes, the people around you change. The risks, losing your identity, suppressing your ambition, letting others define your value. She flipped it. She escaped the star shadow and said, I exist. I matter. I will win. For anyone reading this as a viewer, the takeaway is clear: your relationships matter. Your supporters should lift you up, not clip your wings. And in Hollywood, where glamour meets pressure, it's rare to see someone come out of a toxic romance stronger, wiser, and still full of humor. Field never lost her wit. So yes, she hated him, but more importantly, she hated what he did to her potential. And in rejecting that, she rewrote the rest of her story. In the end, the title holds true. Sally Field did despise Burt Reynolds more than anyone else in Hollywood, not because he was a bad man per se, but because he was the one who nearly made her forget she was herself. And now here's the action I want you to take. Think about someone in your life who may be subtly holding you back. Ask yourself, am I shrinking so someone else can look bigger? And if the answer is yes, do something about it. Because Field didn't just move on, she soared. If you found this story compelling, share it with someone who's wrestling with their own Hollywood moment right now, the one where they realize they deserve their spotlight, because the truth is, this wasn't just a feud. It was a transformation. Thanks for staying with me. Now go and claim the stage you were always meant for.